First, you must realize that you have no idea before you can know the idea. We scan across all the frequencies if we want to learn anything new. Let us begin.
What has physics done for me lately?
Furthermore, the equation E is equal mc squared.
We have now acquired a fateful power to alter and to destroy nature.
That's like when you're in physics and you go to Dreamworld saying, oh, this is a physics excursion.
Science. What is it all about?
The whole of human history all falls in the dust of one stroke of the nail file. You can't really get to grips with evolution unless you realise what an enormous amount of time.
Our own planet is only a tiny part of the vast cosmic tapestry, a starry fabric of worlds yet untold.
You are tuned into what can only be described as the best radio station on this blue dot we call Earth. It is, of course, 4ZZZ, your community broadcaster, be it on your conventional wireless radio by tuning into the classic frequency of 102.1 FM, digital devices such as DAB or smart speaker, listening via the Community Radio Plus app, or streaming us live from our sensational website at 4ZZZ.org.au. And, of course, you can always listen back to us or any 4ZZZ show for that matter using the ingenious on-demand feature, also found at that URL. We also now have a weekly podcast of the show for your listening pleasure, curated by Toby, a condensed version of the show without the music, which my mum prefers. Just search for our show name, which is, of course, No Idea, spelt with a K, your weekly dose of science. And joining me for this episode to speak about all things science, it's just me at the moment. Max, Issy might be coming in. For those unfamiliar with the show, we generally start the show with some weird science, then move on to some marine science with our friendly neighbourhood marine scientist, Peta. And then my personal favourite, the MotoRap. Basically, any science that is fun and interesting to talk about, we will speak about on this show, and we round it out with some space news. Now, because it's just me and it's the New Year's we're just starting January, the first show of No Idea for 2026. It's going to be a rewind show. We're going to hit up some old weird science from last year. I've got the old classic, How Deep Does a Cow Go with Peta in the Marine. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to hear some rewind work that Peta did last year on the 6th of August. Peter's talking about the rubber hand illusion. Let's do it. Master Peta, what do you got for us?
All right, Max, question for you. Do you know the rubber hand trick?
Is that like the pencil trick, wobbling the pencil in your fingers?
No, okay.
That's pretty good.
I can't do that, though. Oh, wait, no, that one I can. No, I'm thinking of spinning a pencil. I can't do that.
Is it similar to that? No.
So not similar to that,
Isn't that
actually.
cool?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Frame rate of your eyes. Okay, on to the next question. I first saw the rubber hand trick on QI, my favourite show of my youth. I've watched every single episode. And essentially, they put out this little contraption, right? Gabe's now wobbling a pencil. This is not important, Gabriel. So they put out this little contraption, and it looks like an upside-down T made out of wooden boards, right? So board on the table and then a little wall. You put it on the table in front of you, and you also put both of your hands on the table in front of you. Now, on the side, you put the board, this little contraption, let's say on your left side.
Yes.
And on the side of the contraption closest to you, there's nothing. But over the wall, there's a rubber hand, and it looks pretty fake. Like, it's usually a different skin tone, it's got painted nails, I don't know, it doesn't always look like your hand, it just looks like a rubber hand. Then there's also a big sheet that goes from the unit over your arm. So essentially, what you'd see if you were looking at a person doing this would be their real hand, then their real hand on a board, a little wooden wall, and a rubber hand.
And the real hand's covered?
Well, no, the hand isn't covered, the arm is. Your arm is covered.
Yeah.
You can see your own hand, and then you can see the rubber hand as well.
There's a couple of different versions, isn't there?
A couple of different versions, but most of the times you can see both of your hands and a rubber hand, you know? And then a big sheet that goes over your arm, so you can't see your arm meeting your hand.
Yeah.
So you pop your hand in the blank space, and then some other person starts stroking both your hand and the rubber hand with a brush at the same time, in the same sort of method, just brush, 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 brush. And after a remarkably short time, you get this.
Faster. I think that will help.
Okay, I got it. It's happening. I've got it. Faster is better. Keep on listening.
Right.
It's happening now. It's my hand.
It really does feel like it.
Yeah, after a short time, it'll feel like your hand. Your brain decides that is a part of your body.
Yeah.
You can feel the brush on your hand. And then all of that, I will say, I don't think I explained that quite as well as Stephen Fry, but it's quite a high bar to jump to. But all of a sudden, as soon as it's your hand, bam! They hit the fake hand with a mallet. And that is the test.
Really?
Not whether you feel the hand, but, in humans we can just tell people that we do feel the hand. But the test is whether you jump. Whether you jump when the fake hand gets hit by a mallet. Are you so convinced it's your hand that you will jump and react to incoming pain?
What I feel like this is about to become about the ocean somehow.
What a great question, because I'm not your friendly neighbourhood psych, though I did walk that path for a small amount of time.
Yeah.
I am your friendly neighbourhood marine scientist, so which marine creature are we talking about today?
Octopus.
It's right, an octopus. Yes, Max, we're talking about an octopus, my favourite marine creature.
Yeah.
An octopus fell for the hand illusion, except obviously it was a tentacle instead of a hand. Although I would love to see if they fell for a hand illusion. Anyway, now this amazing, wonderful, brilliant study is brought to us from the University of Ryukyu in Japan. QS ranking, please.
Oh,
302.
220.
401 to 450.
There we.
Although I don't know if that's 2026 rankings. I couldn't find it on the
that's right,
2026 website. And this was published in Current Biology, so it's very real. I want to point that out. This is a real, serious study.
Yep.
And essentially, they wanted to do this because they were interested in whether non-mammals had experienced this sense of what they call body ownership. That's what this test is testing. Body ownership. Do you feel like that hand is your hand? Do you own it? And they wanted to test if octopuses could also be tricked into perceiving that fake arm as part of their body. It's important, critically, because octopuses' cognition evolved independently from vertebrates. So we know it can happen in mammals.
Right, okay.
But octopuses independently evolved.
Can two relatively intelligent beings
With
that evolved
very different brains.
different backgrounds, do they both have this weird little fault, I guess? Not really a fault unless you're doing some weird test with a rubber hand, but have this same weird little feedback loop where you seeing the hand... Oh, thanks for subscribing.
Hell yeah. This is the perfect time to subscribe.
That was Simon from Wollongabba, by the way. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you, Simon from Wollongabba.
Yeah, does that carry across into different
it's called it's like a feedback loop of essentially you see something that looks like you feeling something, so your brain goes, that must be me, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
So they placed these octopuses called plain body octopuses, womp womp, sad name for an octopus, feel bad for those guys, and they put them in a tank filled with polymer beads, which, yes, is that thing that toddlers eat out of vases that they're not meant to eat, the little like clear things, you fill them with water. Yeah, those things, they had them in the bottom of the tank.
Yeah, okay.
And then an octopus on top of it.
With water, yeah.
Yeah, so not the natural environment, but a clean one.
Right.
And then the octopus is just sitting there, looks like a small octopus, and they covered one of the octopus's arms with this like black plastic thing, and on top of that is a fake rubber arm. So basically the octopus couldn't see the real arm, but they could see the fake rubber arm. And I want to point out here, the rubber arm in this experiment does not look like, it's not convincing. It's completely white. It's like white silicone tentacle, and the octopus at this point is reddish brown. So it's not even like in the human ones, they sort of make the hand a skin color, not necessarily your skin color, but a skin color, and has nails and stuff. No, they did not try in this. They were like, here is a white rubber
It's a white
arm.
stick.
It's a white stick, basically. It looks like a tentacle. It's like a silicone tentacle, but still. And then they did the same thing. They simultaneously stroked their real arm and a fake arm.
What do? They hold the arm of the octopus down and brush it with
I didn't know, because they're
brush?
very movie and they don't love to be touched, so they must...
It must have been held down.
I mean, they were in very small tanks, so I think they just kind of could get them wherever they moved to.
Okay.
But they stroked them. And then in the test conditions, they did three different things. They stroked only the fake arm, they stroked both arms out of sync, and then they placed the real and fake arms in different positions. Then, after a period of time, they pinched the fake arm using tweezers and recorded the octopus's reaction.
Okay.
Right? And it worked. It worked. The octopuses reacted to the pinching of the fake arm by changing colour, which is a common thing they do when they're in danger, withdrawing their limbs, so going or fleeing, like trying to get to another part of the tank, suggesting that the fake arm was integrated into their body schema, which basically means like how your brain perceives your body. The one thing that was clear is that it was necessary to stroke the arms in sync. When they didn't stroke the fake and the real arm in sync, they didn't react. So they clearly it didn't get pulled into their body schema. They needed to have a similar sensation on a real limb to be able to integrate it into their body. So that's clearly important to this. I don't exactly know how, but it is a feedback loop that your brain goes, I feel something, I see something, that must also be part of me.
Right, so your brain needs the octopus brain needs 2 points of truth. It needs to be able to see it. And potentially just being able to see like an arm near you getting hurt. There's a reason why you want to retract your arm before the signal gets to your brain.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. Is you can't wait for the signal to get to your brain. So you need to be able to see it with your eyes and go,
but
danger.
that stroking need in humans and octopuses is showing that it actually needs to be registered as your own. Your brain needs to subconsciously.
If someone hit a mallet on a person a meter away from you,
I'd still recoil.
I would recoil, but it's not the same thing. Whereas this is, you trick your body into thinking that's mine, and then you hit it.
Something has to happen beforehand that your brain is subconsciously patching that into what it's recognizing as its own body, and then when it gets hurt.
Now, can I say what I thought was really interesting about this study? I'll go on to what they say is their interesting parts. But for me, one of the things we know about octopuses is people say they have 2 brains, right? And I want to be clear, when we say 2 brains, it's not like one brain like ours and then another brain like ours sitting right underneath it. They have a lot of their neural tissue in their brain, but the vast majority of their neurons is in their body, in their arms specifically. In all of their arms, they have a lot of neural tissue that forms essentially a second brain. And we've talked about this before. It helps them taste and feel and react independently of the brain in their head, for lack of a better word. So they don't actually need to send things back to the brain. So that's where I find this really interesting, because the reason humans do it is because we only have one. We have a central brain. So it's useful for us to be able to make this body schema so that we can react without having to send a signal all the way up into our heads. But octopuses shouldn't need to do that anyway. So I wonder why they have this. Like, what is the purpose of this if they have that integrated brain in their limbs? Do you know what I mean? Okay, but on to what the researchers say. The researchers are very excited because they seem to experience body ownership through multisensory integration like we do, and it suggests that they form internal representations of their own limbs. So essentially, like what I was talking about, it's called a body schema. It just means the map of you that your brain has. Your brain has a map of your body. They seem to have a map of their body in their brain too. And such self-awareness is clearly not exclusive to animals with backbones or similar nervous systems. Because like I said, very, very different brain style, really different shape, really different way of working. So it's clearly really far back, which again offers strong support for the idea that complex cognition evolved independently in cephalopods. Because we know like their close cousins, mussels, oysters, things like that, do not have this, clearly. Clearly, it's an oyster.
If you put a dead oyster shell next to another oyster and hit it with a hammer, it doesn't care?
No, I don't. I mean, it's not been tested, but I would really doubt it. They're not super highly advanced creatures, but we know that cephalopods are, so octopuses, cuttlefish, things like that. And that's evolved afterwards. So this is us both evolving this trait separately. Very, very interesting. And so, yeah, they want to keep looking at this. They want to try other illusions, which essentially is just tricking more octopuses. Yeah. I have to get in this lab. I have to. I just want to trick octopuses all day long. I also wonder whether the octopuses go to the other guys and they're like, dude, the craziest thing happened to me today. You would not believe I got tricked. I thought this white tentacle was mine. Like, so strange. But yeah, I think this lab does some really interesting stuff, and I'd love to see what they come up with next. How else are we going to trick an octopus?
For those tuning in, you're tuning into 4ZZZ, and the show is No Idea. And we just heard from Peta last year speaking about the rubber hand illusion, August last year. This is a rewind show. We're going to continue with the weird science. I'm going to talk about emojis. I did this July last year. This study was authored by Ian Ha from the University of Texas, which is in Austin. QS ranking
274.
8,000.
Use the bias.
Push my bias the other way.
It's 68.
Damn.
Now that text-based messaging is universal across age groups, the use and variety of emojis in such messages has surged. Defined as digital representations of emotions and ideas, emojis enrich text-based communication by conveying...
They're new age hieroglyphics.
There you go. Take that, Egyptians.
Yeah,
you a big emoji user, Max?
No, what's this?
What do you think your top 3 most used emojis?
Just a heart, that's all I use.
Yeah, red heart was going to be my guess.
Smiley face?
No, I don't use anything else. I'll use the
Just the heart.
I'll use the thumb up to you now.
Thumbs
Of course
up.
you would. Yeah.
Yeah. Heart.
No, that's fair.
And the peach.
Heart and thumbs up. What else do you need?
And the peach.
The beach.
Heart, thumbs up, and peach. You don't need anything else. That's all.
I thought you said beach.
And
all the communication you
This
ever
is the
need.
brilliance of this story because it actually dwells into this. So you'll find out a bit more as I go on. So even though emojis are prevalent in texting and social media, their potential as a tool for fostering interpersonal connection between you and me, Gabe, remains underexplored. So
I don't think I've ever received an emoji from you other than a thumbs up.
that would have been Ian, mate. To fill this knowledge gap, investigated how emojis influence relationship perceptions in online interactions. The participants included 260 adults ranging in age from 23 to 67. I'm
in that range.
They were randomly assigned to read 15 text messages that varied only in the presence or absence of emojis in the text. They were instructed to imagine themselves as the sender of each message and to focus on their partner's response.
Okay.
It's a one-way study at the moment. Participants rated partners who used emojis as more responsive than partners who communicated through text alone. So there you go. I'm not as responsive, Gabe.
It adds emotions.
Yeah. This perceived partner responsiveness through emoji use was positively associated with closeness and relationship satisfaction. Surprisingly, there were no significant difference between face and non-face emojis, suggesting that the type of emoji may be less critical than previously thought. Rather, it may be the presence of emojis that drives perceptions of greater partner responsiveness and better relationships.
I do say when I get a rare emoji come through in a text, I do appreciate that because not only do I get the specific emotional connotation that comes through that, but I know that
You've
person
taken time.
has taken time out of their day to hit that little emoji button and
okay.
scroll through and find the right
Or
thing.
search. The search. I cannot tell you how good the search is. I'm a search person. This is actually a good question for our text line. Do you scroll through your emojis to find them, or do you use the search function?
Emoji texts only. No words allowed. 0420-626-733. I just want emojis, and Max is going to decipher them on air.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Oh, not again.
Oh, good lord.
That was great when people
a
making up
question, Max.
sentences. Yeah.
Have you ever used a laughing emoji? And what do you use to show that you've laughed at something?
Well, I know you kids use the skull.
Oh, he's on it.
Yeah.
He's on it.
Yeah, I
He
remember
gets
from the
it.
last time we did this. Yeah.
Yeah, I use the skull.
Anyway, the author concludes, the study revealed that emojis can boost relationship satisfaction by signaling emotional attentiveness. Interestingly, it's not the type of emoji, but simply their presence that makes people feel closer to their partner.
Maybe, I think it would depend a little bit on the emoji. Maybe not between face and not face, but if I was sending you a bunch of middle fingers and angry faces, I wouldn't assume that we felt closer together.
Fair enough.
If I just gave you a palm tree once and again, it'd probably just be confusing.
Yeah, it would be.
Biological representation in emojis is a joke. I'm sick of it. You keep looking for stuff. There's 4 versions of a chicken and one eagle, and then there's no other birds.
Okay, but we do need to acknowledge
There's
our own
no
privilege
moths.
in this situation, is that Japanese people love Australian animals, and so there is a koala and a kangaroo on there. We're slightly
cute.
overrepresented.
And 2 types of
If you
mushroom.
compare that to New Zealand, there's no kiwi.
There's only 2 trees. One of them's a sapling.
Hey, there's a palm tree.
Yeah. And that was my story from the 9th of July last year. It's probably a bit out of my wheelhouse, mate. Please introduce Issy.
Hello.
Is it out of my wheelhouse, the emoji
For
talk?
emojis, no. I think you were pretty dead on about the skull emoji being used as a good substitute for the laughing emoji. So I think we'll probably not the expert on emoji usage, but you've got plenty of background.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, we got a subscriber. We got a subscriber, Max. Hit it. Hit it.
I haven't got it. I'll get it through. We're going to hear from you last year, Issy.
Oh, no.
You're talking about some teeth grinding in through some greens and how they can wear away teeth.
Wear away teeth. I remember
and this is on the 9th of July last year. Let's start off with the sting.
All right. I struggle struggled to write an intro for this study because it's one of those weirder science experiments where it's not the results that are weird, but the methodology.
Yes.
I love these.
Yes. This is from the University of, and I'm so sorry, Politecnica de Valencia.
Oh, it's
Lisa,
French, who cares?
in Spain.
Spain.
It's Spanish, who cares?
QS ranking.
It's a range.
No, it's not.
87.
222.
436. So I'll give you credit, but it's not the study that's the problem. It's this methodology. It aims to understand how plant-based diets have permanent and damaging effects on your teeth. So, how do you ask?
How good is this? Yeah.
They used
Wait, do they make people... Oh, sorry, no, continue.
No, it's weirder. How, you ask? They used artificial leaves embedded with plant photoliths, which are...
Artificial leaves?
Yep, which are basically microscopic silica particles found in the cells of plants, and rubbing it on human teeth in a dish.
Sorry, were leaves not available?
Well,
couldn't find leaves.
No, I think they wanted a little bit of a control measure.
Yeah, sure.
What's the control? Like, they were like, hey, we made this thing that's made of the most... We've made this thing that's so close to a leaf because we want it to be a leaf. But critically, it's not a leaf.
Yep. Nanotechnology, baby. I'm pretty sure that's what the funding was instead of actual leaves. But human teeth in a dish is more the emphasis that I wanted to put on.
You're more concerned about the human teeth in the dish. Yeah.
Yes.
That actually doesn't bother me, to be honest.
How did you get...
Yeah, why not?
The teeth, you asked, state of origin, they are enamel specimens from healthy third adult molars, impacted and semi-impacted wisdom teeth without any critical damage, which were provided by local dentists.
So things they'd taken out of people's mouths.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I figured.
And to make it even
use for them.
Easier, you know it's so reassuring when you see the words homemade in the study. They created a homemade experimental device developed for simulating chewing processes between the synthetic or the biocomposite leaf and the dental sample. And I kid you not, it looks exactly how you would imagine it. It's basically two plates on an XY movement with the teeth and basically crushing down. There's a sensor to analyze the pressure and just like a rail. Almost like, it looks like a little bit like a 3D printer, almost.
So they got real teeth yanked out of people's mouths, put them in a dish, made a little home robot, and then chewed on fake leaves.
Yep. And it's pretty interesting.
Gotta be real with you, the fake leaves is still the bit that's annoying me the most here.
Yes. So, found it very interesting results though. They found that the mechanism primary responsible for when you chew is created by the sharper edges of individual photoliths indenting and scratching against the enamel. So not getting stuck in your teeth or not attributing, it's actually rubbing up against the enamel of your teeth. They found that whilst tooth degradation by plant photoliths are not very relevant to human beings, they are very relevant to animals, particularly mammals that have hooves and tend to have a large amount of plants in their diet.
Coos! We've come back to coos.
We have come back to cows, yes. Human teeth provided controllable specimens, as they outlined, which helped simplify the analysis. Fair enough. It was concluded that the presence of photoliths in artificial leaves amplified the extent of any pre-existing wear on the enamel surface, with a more pronounced effect as the initial damage becomes more severe. So very interesting how these operate, how they almost kind of dig into crevices and can exacerbate further damage. It builds off previous studies, and this was crazy, how photoliths are dispersed. There was a previous study done where they used liquid artificial saliva, which is a crazy...
Can't you just get normal? What?
I don't know. And found that the damage was different compared to tests with or without the artificial particles. The crucial difference was that in the artificial leaf underwent mechanical degradation through testing, i.e. chewing, while photoliths and artificial saliva remained largely unchanged. So really interesting how these two kind of chewing and your saliva kind of play in together. the results of this ultimately was to have a better understanding of how mechanical failure of dental enamels, such as fractures or microscopic wear, has a large impact for dentistry. And also they spoke a little bit about how important teeth are in understanding evolution and also understanding an animal's diet. So this could further contribute to understanding microscopic changes in fossils or other kind of deceased animal skulls and things like that, which I think is really sick. Very strange way of going about it. I thought initially the human teeth aspect was strange, but then homemade device is always so reassuring to see in the figures. So that's my weird science.
So the Phytoliths, is it Phytoliths? Is that what they're talking about?
Phytoliths, yeah. Phytoliths.
Right. So that's like little biomineralizations in like little silica and calcium deposits within plant matter. That's rubbing up against teeth and causing like grit damage.
Yes,
basically,
essentially.
to your tooth. So I think the fake leaf thing was about, I guess, just making different sandpaper grit.
Yes,
types.
I think digging through, there was like, yes, lighter wear, and then there was heavier, kind of grittier, almost textures being made.
Right.
It was under this was released in, I believe, it contributed a lot to like nanotechnology as well. So I think that played a large part in the creation of artificial leaves. So understanding how they can almost change those deposits.
Yeah.
So mind-boggling. And there is so much maths behind this as well. But yeah, super interesting seeing, they have a graph in here that says real leaf, and it's a photo of a leaf, kind of equals synthetic leaves, and then 3 different biocomposites kind of samples that they have, which I think is really fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So maybe don't eat all your greens. Maybe.
Well, eat all your greens.
That was quite contentious of you, Issy, to say don't eat your greens.
Happy New Year's resolution this year. Don't eat your greens. Save on those dentist appointments.
For someone who's got the best teeth ever, but anyway.
Hey, I've gone through the dentist many times, so.
And it's about that time when we hear from our friendly neighbourhood marine scientist, Peta, who is not here this week, but that's fine. We've got a recording from last year, October the 1st, last year, 2025. And I was on Peta last year about developing a sting for her segment. And I got a bit frustrated, so I just made this one up. We're going to hear from our friendly neighbourhood marine scientist.
You sure as hell are.
And she was pretty happy, but she got her
I love
Gabe's
this
sister
thing.
to make
Yes.
this
Thank you,
latest
Chelsea,
one.
for the absolute gem that you have given us. It is the highlight of every week when I come in on No Idea.
And the marine is shark-oriented. It's about the deepest cow ever. So we'll see how it goes. Let's do the intro.
I love it.
You know what tuna is?
Fish.
It's fish!
Thank God someone's working on this. I don't know what I'd do without it.
Fish are friends, not food.
Great start. Gabe, what does a cat say?
Yeah.
Max, what does a chicken say?
Cluck, cluck.
And Izzy, what does a shark say? Okay, so if you, Max and Gabe, were to venture over 1,000 meters down into the deep blue, what are some things you think you might see?
Some very small,
Sharks?
small things.
Might see sharks, might see
Fish.
small things.
Little
Fish.
stars. A little submarine with some scientists streaming into it live from a boat above, going, "Oh my God, it's a Dumbo octopus!"
Yep, things like that. I think they're called the Nautilus, that ship.
Plastic,
Yeah, you'd see plastic.
Oh, don't go.
bottom trawling,
Yeah.
death,
Not that not that
destruction.
deep.
Squid.
No, bottom trawling doesn't usually go that deep. It's hundreds of meters, not thousands of meters. You would probably see a squid. What you probably wouldn't expect to see is a bunch of sharks eating a cow. But it's happened, and it's on video. So essentially, there's one researcher from Sun Yat-sen University in China. QS ranking, please.
300.
200.
Max is really close. 276. 276. Sun Yat-sen. And so this researcher was on a boat researching whale fall. I don't have an excuse for this. I don't know why they did this. Apparently, the best way to research whale fall is not to look at actual whale fall, which is when whales die and fall to the bottom of the ocean, literally whale fall. best way to do that, apparently, is to drop a weighted cow down to the bottom of the ocean attached to a camera.
Okay.
Which
This is
seems
great
odd.
science.
Like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of marine mammals out there, but I guess they didn't want to have to take the time to find them, so they just figured drop a cow, see what happens.
Yep.
So the cow was deployed within the South China Sea.
From a torpedo.
Deployed. The life purpose of this cow was to be deployed after its death as a falling carcass.
A falling carcass. Deployed was in the study, by the way. I said I copied that because I thought that was incredible. So the cow was deployed within the South China Sea, and it attracted some unexpected visitors. Specifically, 8 Pacific sleeper sharks, which are very hard to find usually. So they were really excited about this. All 8 of them were identified as female, and it's exciting because it provides a pretty unique opportunity to study their behavior in situ. Now, here's my little caveat. Okay, the whole study is like, oh, we get to see their natural behavior. Woo! I don't know if their natural behavior includes eating cows.
Yeah.
That's just throwing that out there.
True.
You don't know that.
I wouldn't say it's part of their normal
it's an
food
outlier.
groups. Yeah.
And they said the sea cow was extinct.
Right, so let me just explain what this shark looks like, Pacific sleeper shark. Honestly, my best description of this shark is that it sort of looks like the bullet character in Mario Kart, except stretched a little.
Yep.
Like genuinely very similar in facial
And I think
expression.
it's got some and color too, dark.
dark,
and
dark
then white
grey.
on the bottom, I think.
Not much. Pretty much, they can have some grey patches, but they're usually dark all over, dark grey, nearly black. The adults can grow quite large. They're typically around 3 to 4 meters, but there have been reports of individuals reaching up to 7 meters.
So did the cow just disappear immediately?
Pretty much.
That's enormous.
So they have this like thick cylindrical body, a blunt head and short snout, so they don't have that like elongated front. They're dark grey to blackish, which is obviously because they live in the deep ocean. Blends in better. Sometimes, weirdly, they have these really tiny eyes, unlike a lot of other things in the deep ocean, so they obviously don't really rely on them very much. But sometimes they have parasitic copepods attached to their eyes, which like completely ruin their vision. So clearly eyes aren't that important to them.
Or perhaps are only important in early life and then not when they get big enough.
There's some weird thing about their eyes, but again, there's not much known about these guys because they live so deep and it's hard to see them. From what I've seen, a lot of people describe them as like slow. They're called sluggish, like sleeper sharks. Apparently they're slow. They don't move much. They're not very fast. They're not like those, you see like a muckle shark and it's like barrel rolling and jumping and doing. These sharks could never.
7 meters?
Never.
I would.
Huge.
If I was 7 meters, I wouldn't do much either.
They're found mainly in the deep, cold waters of the North Pacific, around Alaska, Japan, and Russia, so up quite north.
Yeah.
But this is one of the first times they've been seen this far south in the South China Sea, so very exciting. They're typically from about 200 to over 2,000 meters deep, but they apparently occasionally venture into shallower waters and have been seen on the coastline just every so often if they feel like it, I guess. Their diet is mainly fish, including other sharks, squid, octopus. They call it carrion, but basically just dead stuff that falls to the bottom of the ocean. And they think maybe like seals or other marine mammals in some reasons, but because they're really slow, they don't think they ambush prey or kill, they just mainly scavenge.
Yeah.
Oh, one crazy thing I found out about this shark. Absolutely insane. It was mentioned like a footnote. I think it should have been the main thing. Apparently eating them gives you symptoms of being drunk because they have a toxin in their flesh that affects us.
Oh.
Why anyone's eating these sharks, I don't know. But don't do it because you'll be drunk.
Well,
Hey.
maybe do it.
Never say no.
Maybe don't do it. Let's not do it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just thought it was really exciting. So a bunch of them were super excited about this cow, and they came and ate it.
Yep.
There's a video, it's actually incredible, because there's this massive cow, a regular cow, sitting on the ocean floor with this really fast current sweeping by, right? Like the cow's carcass is sort of like swaying in the breeze of this current. And then all of a sudden, on the left-hand side of the screen, this huge bullet-shaped head just appears. And it comes over and you think, oh, it must be really close to the camera. Nope. Its head is about half the size of the cow. And it just takes a huge chunk out of it and leaves. Its head, I can't tell you how big this shark was. Anyway, so observations that we saw on this video. First of all, there's a little bit of a hierarchy. Similar, we talked about this before with some sharks that they found having a hierarchy on a piece of prey in the ocean.
In Hawaii, right?
Yeah, near Hawaii. So larger sharks, over 2.7 meters, exhibited aggressive attacks on the carcass. So they sort of like took their turn first, they came in, they pushed through. While smaller individuals, remember smaller being just less than 2.7 meters long,
right,
displayed cautious circling behavior, sort of like going around and waiting their turn. But even weirder was at one point, the sharks were observed yielding their positions to others approaching from behind.
Oh.
Like a queue. They formed a queue to eat at this carcass. Like, here's the big shark, the little shark, the little shark, but then
By
also
the time the other one gets behind you, you gotta
get out of there. It was like if someone came at you from behind, they would move and they'd wait and circle and then take their turn again.
And I'm assuming they have no idea why.
No, absolutely no idea why.
What if it's because they're just so vulnerable in that position? So it's kind of like a mutual understanding. I'm coming in, I will bite your tail or I will bite the cow.
It's also, so they think, from what I could see, yeah, kind of. It is like I can't protect myself from behind, so I may as well move off, clear off and then come back. They also think that because they have these queuing behaviors and this like social hierarchy, they think it's evidence that they actually have pretty abundant food down there, which is not like anything they've seen before. Most people assume that things in the deep ocean eat occasionally when they can. But because they're being semi-aggressive, because they have these like structures in place, they're like, well, actually, it seems like they've got lots of food to the point where they have to have a system on who gets it.
And enough energy to fight each other over it.
Yeah.
If they need to.
So they think that's interesting, especially because they didn't see abundant food when they were looking. So they were like, we don't know what that abundant food source is, but they think there is one somewhere for them. One other weird thing they did when they were eating.
A lot of cows falling into the South China Sea.
Lot of cows. Two other things they found while they were feeding is that they all retracted their eyes. So you will have seen this behavior in some sharks when they are attacking something, right? Great white sharks will do this when they're attacking. They pull their eyes in and it's a form of protection. And that's because they don't have this membrane on the inside of their eye that's usually made to protect from particulate matter. So they think that it's not usually done in feeding. So they think that maybe they're only doing it because their particulate matter will come off and get in their eyes. Not entirely sure. They also shot out a bunch of particulate matter themselves out of these little like, there's a technical term for them, but they're essentially like little holes that look kind of like ears behind their eyes, and they just shoot out particulate matter when they bite into the shark. Don't know why, just happened. Really interesting. So yeah, obviously this is just an observation, but it's a really cool observation. We've learned a little bit from it. We don't know why for any of this, because you'd need to actually like go back several times and see. The presence of Pacific sleepy sharks in the South China Sea is exciting because it suggests a much broader distribution than they thought these sharks had. And yeah, that feeding behavior indicates that they have a lot of food down there, which was not thought of either. One quick message about you guys' joke that maybe there was cows in the South China Sea, then that's their food source. I actually looked into it because the question arose, is this the deepest a cow has ever been on planet Earth?
This is why this show exists, Max.
That's right.
Is this the deepest?
Yeah.
And I actually think it might not be.
Oh.
Because a couple of years ago, this is quite a tragic thing that happened, but a ship coming from New Zealand with live exports of, I think it was 1,500 cows, perished. It overturned and it was a shipwreck in the middle of the sea going up to Japan. So from New Zealand to Japan, on the way, there's a lot of trenches, really deep trenches. And so 1,500 cows perished, they drowned, it was an awful experience. But here's the thing, they obviously didn't go and recover them all. There's videos of them floating because
they bloat at the start.
Cows do bloat, but after they bloat, like everything else, they will fall. Now, probably not in time, most of them probably would be eaten while they were bloated.
Yeah.
There's just things in the ocean will find you.
Yep.
You'll be eaten. But I think it would be highly likely with that amount of cows that one of them sank quite far. Because in that sort of region of the ocean, there just is a lot of trenches.
Yeah.
So I have no evidence, none. But I think it is likely that this is not the deepest cow that has happened.
But maybe the deepest cow proven on record.
Deepest cow on record.
1.6 kilometres down.
Yeah.
For those tuning in, you're tuning into 4ZZZ. And the show has no idea. And we just heard from a friendly neighbourhood marine scientist, Peta, speaking about those cows, and that was from the 1st of October last year.
I made a mistake, and it's something I regret deeply.
This hurts.
You all know that I love this show. I love rigorous science, and I aim to always tell you our best version of the truth, the closest that we know. Because as we know, science doesn't get the truth. Science just gets as close as we can. And unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago, I was telling you about the deepest cow. And At some point, I said that this was the deepest cow on record. Do you have any? Does anyone else remember this?
No.
1.6 kilometers deep. Do you remember the cows they dropped into the ocean and all the sharks started coming
feeding on them? Yeah.
And I think we said it was the deepest cow ever on record.
We said it was the deepest cow on record. We didn't say it was the deepest cow. I actually had done some research at the time on what I thought would be the deepest cow, which was some a horrific accident where a bunch of cows perished over the Marianas Trench, which I stand by might still be the deepest cow, but alas, I was wrong. That was not the deepest cow on record, and I'm so sorry for everyone who listens to this show and cares about what we say.
Wasn't even close.
Takes it to heart. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close, and it was available. It was on record.
How deep is it?
3.4 kilometers. It's 3,400 meters. I was really wrong, and I'm so sorry for that, everyone. I let you down, and I want you to know that I take that really seriously. We will be conducting a formal investigation into how this happened and making sure that it does not
Clearly
happen
we
again.
didn't peer review your article. You tune into 4ZZZ, and the show is No Idea with me, Max. We've got Issy in the room, and because it's a new MotoRap for 2026, Happy New Year, Issy.
Happy New Year, Max.
We've got a new MotoRap.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, it's time for the best part of the show, where we loosely define the science you already know. Everybody listens to 4ZZZ to hear us talk about what Bottas just did. Subscriptions keep rolling like tyres on a car, but something tells me that a science won't go far. But unlike an engine, I won't keep you in suspension. We're all here to hear, so let's give him attention. You're not ready for when he starts rapping. I'm going to hand the mic to Max, and I'm not talking Verstappen.
You rate it?
I don't like it. I don't like it. It lacks the oomph.
I spent a good 5 minutes on that.
Okay. And it still sounds like that. So
Anyway, as we await the unveiling of the new liveries at various launch events
I'm so excited.
around the world, I would like to mention 2 new Formula One teams on the grid. Well, 2 new names on the grid, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
One is Audi and one is Cadillac. The German manufacturer Audi has taken over the Kick-Sauber F1 operation and will continue with drivers Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriele Bortoletti. However, the team will no longer use Ferrari power with the introduction of their in-house 1.6-litre V6 turbo engine featuring a powerful electric motor, battery, Audi electronics.
I wonder how long their name's going to be now. Because I remember there was an era of Kick-Sauber, Kick something else.
It's just being called Audi. That's
Okay,
it.
Audi, easy.
Yeah,
Love that.
Because they just bought them out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the Swiss team.
Maybe this is what they need for such a slow car to get a nice new kick-powered energy. Yeah.
And the other team on the new kid on the block, Cadillac. They've got a conservative driver lineup consisting of ex-Red Bull driver Sergio Perez, partnering up with ex-Mercedes driver and honorary Australian Valtteri Bottas.
Happy to see him back on the grid.
So the sting's still relevant with the Bottas. Test driving responsibilities have fallen to IndyCar's Colton Herta, and just announced former F1 driver Zhou Guanyu will fulfill Cadillac's reserve driver position. Valtteri and Zhou used to be F1 teammates back in the day for Sauber.
Yes.
So that's good. And we will wait for the rest of the No Idea team to return before we begin speculating who will win this year's Drivers / Constructors Championship. All I'm saying is Aston Martin.
Oh, a dark horse. Yeah. Interesting.
F1 Academy, what do you got for us, Issy?
I have a lineup. So, as with every 2 years, basically F1 Academy drivers only have a 2-year contract.
Yes.
So you got 2 years to show what they're made of. So, of course, the 2024 graduates have now finished, and we are introducing 10 confirmed signed drivers for next year. So I'm just going to run through, giving you a little TLDR of each. First of all, we have Alba Larsen, who's signing for Ferrari. She's taking over the mantle from 2025 vice champion and teammate Maya Wegg. She has scored 7 top 5 finishes, finishing in 9th in last year's standing. We also have Alison Pomolsky, who is Red Bull Racing. She's a familiar face. She is also expected to be on the hunt to be crowned the 2026 champion. Ella Lloyd from McLaren, she's last year's Rookie of the Year, and she will be fighting for a 2026 title Crystal Championship as well. So hopefully this will be her last year to show us what she's made of. Ella Stevens, McLaren Octagon. She's the second McLaren junior in the field to prepare embarking on her first season in single-seaters. She was crowned vice champion in the 2025 British Karting Championship. Esme Koshman in the new Lego car, first of the 2025 wildcard drivers to earn a full-time seat. She'll be representing Lego Racing in their debut campaign as the iconic brand joins the season. Jade Jacquet in Williams. She was a rookie driver in the Art Grand Prix, which is the French Grand Prix. She joined the Williams racing team and made her debut in France. Kaylee Countryman for Haas. She was picked up in 2026 and turned 16 at the start of January. She's ready for her rookie F1 championship as well. Lisa Bildman for Gatorade. She filled the third and final spot in the Art Grand Prix. She's a driver that was the first female to win a French junior championship race in 2022. She's selected by Gatorade, which I believe is their first time on the grid. We also have Matilda Paz for Aston Martin. She has a very strong CV behind her with third place finishes in the ADAC Kart Masters Mini and OK Junior in 2022. Finally, we have Raffaella Ferrari from Racing Bulls in her sophomore season with high hopes after conquering 2025. So we've got some girls who are doing their final season.
And some who are
rookies.
Yep.
Some, I'm happy to see wildcard drivers also being included there. Basically, in F1 Academy, wildcard drivers are there to not only fill seats, but also show off their skills in each of their home Grand Prix. So I'm happy to see those wildcard drivers graduate to a permanent position on the grid.
Right.
So lots to look forward to as well as we head into F1 Academy. Unfortunately, not racing in Australia, but we'll be racing in the Chinese Grand Prix afterwards.
Yes, straight after, And now, is it just when you thought there was no motorsport to be had at this time of year, look no further than the Dakar.
Oh, of course.
Held on the deserts of Saudi Arabia, the 15-day rally sees multiple categories of vehicles travelling at impressive speeds across 5,000 kilometres of unforgiving terrain. Two categories I'm focusing on, bikes. We may have an early Aussie anthem celebration with current world champion Daniel Chucky Sanders chasing down another victory in this year's rally. After 3 stages, Chucky, riding his KTM, is sitting pretty in third. He's 3 minutes 28 seconds behind the rally leader riding a Honda. To the cars, Queenslander Toby Price is part of the Toyota factory team, competing on 4 wheels. Toby traditionally races on 2 wheels.
Oh, wow.
He's won the Dakar back in 2016 and 2019. After 3 stages, he's ranked 30th overall. He had to help a teammate, so it slowed him down a bit. He's 33 minutes, 13 seconds behind the rally leader, driving a Ford. The rally was won by Toyota last year. So I'm thinking, with Ford returning to F1 this year, and for those unfamiliar, they are heavily involved with Red Bull powertrains, taking over from Honda, who are going to Aston Martin. That's why I kept mentioning Aston Martin. So it would seem Ford has gone all out with setting the tone with trying to win this year's Dakar. After securing the services of El Matador, Carlos Sainz Sr., Ford has fielded no less than 4 factory T1 Raptors.
Oh, wow.
Still too early for them to celebrate, but Ford Racing is currently leading the rally after 3 stages.
That's good.
So another, 12 to go.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. So maybe Red Bull did the right thing in getting Ford on board.
Yeah.
For their Formula 1 team.
Strong out the gate.
Strong out the gate,
Wow. It is only 7 days into 2026.
It's pretty
so hopefully, fingers crossed. But yes, how exciting.
What do you got for us, Issy?
We've been gotten a few texts in as well, Max. I feel sorry we haven't been acknowledging the text line 0420 626 733, but we got a delightful text from Owen. He said, "Morning, no idea, team, and happy first show of 2026. It is. Is there a scientific explanation for how poorly the English cricket team have been this summer? Could they learn something from Natural World or F1? Would a 4ZZZ subscription really help if they even beyond the redeeming powers of a warm inner glow?" Cheers, Owen. And you know what? That is a topic for debate, Max.
If we can get the English cricket team to subscribe to
4ZZZ. Yeah. Really just salt in the wounds. But you can subscribe to 4ZZZ, 4ZZZ.org.au/support. If anyone knows the entire English cricket team, please pass on the link.
Sure.
We are taking any sorts of monetary value from them. Do you have the prices up there for you, Max?
Yeah,
Can
but
you
I
read
got
it
the cricket
through?
scores.
Oh yeah, not Max. Don't.
We scored 567, so we've got a lead of 107 runs.
I know,
as
Max.
they chase it down.
You've heard about my awful Boxing Day. Woke up hungover, turn on the cricket, we're losing. My partner tries to drive me to my shift on Boxing Day at Chermside. The car breaks down. I get in the Uber. He won't stop talking about the cricket. I get in there. It is busy. It was just the worst day ever. But I'm happy now that we are leading.
Yeah.
We may have cricket infiltrating our MotoRap, Max. Sorry, balls in the air. We might be coming for you. Anyway, subscribing.
Yes.
Every month, we have a lovely sub prize given to us by some fellow lovely 4ZZZ supporters who are happy to give out a little prize for our subscribers that month. This month, to help with your New Year's resolutions, TTB Fitness has offered a 10-pack session card that can be used for any of their group sessions, including specialty weightlifting and gymnastics classes. It's an inclusive community in Seven Hills with a mission to build a fit, strong and healthy community that welcomes individuals of all backgrounds and fitness levels. I actually follow this gym. We have plenty of Zedders who do attend it, so it is truly a gorgeous gym, by the way. Bright, vibrant, high quality equipment. The month's prize is 10 packs that can be used in any session with a group class timetable running from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 6 till 10:30. It's built on the belief that fitness should be fun, inclusive and accessible facilities, not just a gym. It's a safe and welcoming hub where people are empowered to pursue personal growth. So if that's what you want to support, 4ZZZ.org.au/support, you automatically go in the running for the sub prize. Can you read out the tiers for me, Max?
Yeah, well, so if you're under 18 and you're still on school holidays, you can subscribe on $25. If you want to subscribe your pet, it's $25. If a concession or large language model, it's $40. A full subscription is $80. Passionate, $140. And a super sub, get your name written downstairs for $500 annually. Job done. And it keeps us alive and it keeps out the AI, I guess.
It does, yeah. If you were disturbed by our MotoRap intro, then please keep subscribing so our large language models do not take over the radio
Fair
waves.
enough.
Thank you.
Consumer community service announcement.
Yes.
Okay.
0, 1, 2.
And this is what they recovered using AI in the data set.
Thank God someone's working on this. I don't know what I'd do without it.
You tune into 4ZZZ and the show with no idea, your weekly dose of science with me, Max. We've got Issy. It's a rewind show, Issy.
Oh, is it? I had nothing prepared, so thank God.
Now, last year, Gabe was talking about the Lyssavirus, infects bats. Spoke about this on the 9th of July, 2025. I thought we'd reprise it. Enjoy.
Max, I've got for you this Lyssavirus, Australian bat Lyssavirus. So, like we know, a couple of days ago, about a week ago, a man in his 50s was admitted to hospital in critical care and ended up dying from Australian bat Lyssavirus. And so I thought I'd jump in a bit to what this virus is, how it works, and everything else about it.
Okay.
So there's not much we know about the story itself. We know the guy, the man was in his 50s. He was bitten several months ago in northern New South Wales. And there is reports that authorities, I believe New South Wales Health, has said he received treatment, which we'll get into in a bit, but is actually one of the really interesting parts of this story beyond the tragedy of someone losing their life to a disease like this. But I want to just go into the history of what it is. So it was first identified in 1996.
That is so much later than I thought it would have been.
Yeah,
Holy.
Australian bat Lyssavirus. After a black flying fox was found displaying nervous symptoms near Ballina in northern New South Wales, so quite close to where this case happened. The case, though, that has just happened was the first in New South Wales. All other three have been in Queensland, which is where it's typically found, but it is found in a lot of places around the country, including New South Wales, Northern Territory, Queensland, Victoria, and WA. That's it. The bats have been detected with it in all of those states. The other cases that happened were quite soon after the same year, actually 1996, it was first detected. A woman who had recently become a bat handler started to suffer from it and ended up dying after being put into a coma or ending up in a coma. The other 2 deaths were in 1998 and 2013. So since that's 4 deaths, right? That have happened to it since 1996. For comparison, it's a very similar virus to rabies. And the World Health Organization says rabies kills about 55,000 people per year. As for another stat
Whoa,
that
that
said
is
59,000.
so many more people.
A lot of people. We don't have rabies on the mainland or anywhere on land in Australia. We do have this Australian bat Lyssavirus, which is similar. We call it often just gets called Lyssavirus. But it's kind of like the same thing that was happening with SARS-CoV-2, the virus, that we just called it coronavirus, even though that's the group of viruses it's from. So Lyssaviruses are a type of virus, and one of them is the Australian bat Lyssavirus. When I say Lyssavirus, I'm talking about Australian bat Lyssavirus. Rabies is included in that family. It's called the Rhabdoviridae family, which is...
So they're not just similar viruses, they're from the same family.
They're
which
very
is why
similar.
they do the
they're
same
very
thing.
similar. And there's another one called European bat Lyssavirus, and I think there's a couple of others as well. So they're very ssimilar viruses in how they behave and how they interact with bats and other mammals, including humans. So yeah, like the virus itself looks very innocuous. It's just like this cylinder shape. It kind of looks like the standard bacteria almost look
like
to
an
it,
E. coli
just like
look?
an oval. But obviously it can cause
So
massive,
those are up to date on
horrible
the E.
symptoms.
coli.
And Lyssa comes from the Greek for rage or fury, and virus obviously is virus.
That's similar to rabies, isn't it? Rabies comes from the Latin for, I think, like madness.
Yeah, well, the
similar thing.
Lyssavirus includes rabies, so and yeah, it can include, in Australia, the Australian bat Lyssavirus is found in flying foxes, other fruit bats, as well as microbats, so insectivorous microbats. So it can be found in quite a lot of bats, but it is rare even in bats. Depending on which stat you look at, we're talking about 0.5% of bats, maybe 0.1% of bats that it gets detected in. As symptomatic levels, but some samples have found it in none of the bats they test. So it's rare for it to happen in bats, but lots of bats have been exposed to it. Few end up displaying the clinical symptoms that they end up dying of, but many have been exposed. So they have a built-in level of resistance that some scientists are looking into to see if we can develop,
not have.
Develop more from it. And so that's a bit of a clue into how it works. It mainly sits in, they call it a reservoir that a virus will sit in, where it typically rests and builds up numbers and spreads from and survives in, and then it has vectors as well. So the reservoir and vectors for rabies, as well as the Australian bat Lyssavirus, across the world are the canids, so dogs, cats, foxes, bats, monkeys, skunks, mongooses, all those sorts of things. Obviously, what we're interacting with and what people around the world interact with, we're mainly talking about bats in Australia, and dogs around the rest of the world are the main reservoir and vector that humans then interact with. It's when it gets into humans, it's this weird thing in viruses where a virus most of the time actually doesn't want to kill its host. It may do that at some point in its life cycle as a final big push of spreading, but what a virus is trying to do to survive, obviously it's not trying is a bit of a weird word, but what a virus is doing in its survival is replicating itself using a host abilities to replicate genetic information like RNA and DNA, and then using something to spread. So for a coronavirus, it makes us sneeze and cough and do all those sorts of things to spread itself. And what its best way of surviving is to trigger those sorts of symptoms to spread it, and then build up a reservoir in a new host, and then get it to spread it again. There's some viruses that benefit from killing the host because it's a way of spreading, but for a lot of viruses, it's not actually a
good idea.
Good survival. It's not an evolutionary.
And that's what happened to
developed.
SARS-1 when SARS-1 hit. It petered out because it was killing off the humans.
It's part of the reason
before they could spread the
it's part
virus.
of the reason. So what it's really good at sitting in canids, dogs, bats, and those sorts of things, and spreading. And like we can see, lots of canids, like bats, have resistance to it. So they've evolved resistance to it.
So they can both just live together, kind of.
It goes along, and it will kill bats. It does kill bats, as it does kill dogs. But it also, for a lot of bats, they can just have it in their system. or beat it off.
Sort
and
of like
it just
tuberculosis
continues.
in humans.
What then happens with some viruses is just sort of through random chance, they'll end up in other similar animals that have similar biologies going on, cellular biologies going on. So they're able to infect them, but they're not adapted to get the optimal evolutionary outcome out of them. And sometimes, horrifically, that just means it actually just is way too symptomatic and ends up causing severe symptoms in that host, that it's as a sort of side effect. So it's a bit of what's happening with rabies here, is that humans aren't really the primary host, but it can live in humans and it can spread probably from humans. But it's not really, it's not the main, it's not what rabies and other Lyssaviruses like the Australian bat Lyssavirus evolved to do. They're evolved to sit in canids, but they can get into humans. And when they do, we can contract it from saliva from an infected animal. The risk after being bitten, we take a lot of these stats from rabies and other things because there's only 4 cases that we're going off. But the infection risk from an infected animal is somewhere between 1 and 60%, depending on how severe the bite is, how infected that animal is, all those sorts of factors. And then if the virus develops inside a human for long enough, New South Wales Health says symptoms start off as flu-like, including headaches, fever, and fatigue, and that disease then rapidly progresses into paralysis, delirium, convulsions, and death. Symptoms display very differently in different people, but there is that psychological element to it as well, as it starts affecting the nerves and the brains of its host. Once symptoms start appearing, that can take several days to start happening. It can take a couple of months. Usually it's 2 to 3 months. It can take several years. It can sit dormant for a long time, depending on how close it is to your nerves when it first gets into your system, how much of it gets in, all those sorts of factors. And once it does start developing symptoms, or even if it's actually just at a detectable level in a human, there is no known successful cure for that. There's no cure generally, but there's no successful treatment.
And that's for rabies as well as for
or
everything in this family.
Symptomatic. Yeah. So that's why the only 2 ways of dealing with Australian bat Lyssavirus in humans is through a vaccine that some people can get if they're going to come into contact with bats regularly. That includes vets and wildlife carers or rescuers. And there is also a treatment regime which includes rabies immunoglobulin and the rabies vaccine, which you can get if you have been at risk of being infected early on. So even though it's not common, and even though you can only get it by having saliva make contact with something like an open wound or the mucus of your eye or something like that, like it's got to get into your body through the saliva, through a bite or a scratch. So it's very uncommon to get it, but if you do then get bitten by a bat or scratched by a bat, or even if you're overseas dealing with rabies and you think you might have been bitten or scratched by another carrier, the standard protocol is you assume it does have rabies.
Yeah.
Even if it might not.
Go to the hospital immediately.
Well, so you start by immediately washing the wound thoroughly for 15 minutes with soap and water. Apply an antiviral antiseptic to it and then allow the affected area to dry. So that's the first thing you do. Wash it out, soap and water, 15 minutes. If it's your eyes, don't use the soap, but wash your eyes for 15 minutes thoroughly. And don't do the antiviral antiseptic to your eyes either, please.
Real bad.
But antiviral antiseptic to the wound, allow it to dry. After you've done that, get straight to some emergency ward, wherever you are, closest thing, and tell them you think you've been scratched or bitten by a bat or whatever may have been carrying rabies, and they can go from there. Typically, from what I understand, the treatment is relatively successful if it's early. If you get in there really quickly. So that's why there's an ongoing investigation to this latest case into whether this man received the standard treatment, what sort of treatment he received, when he received it relative to the bite, and if there are any other factors that could have made him more susceptible to getting further disease progression or illness progression. So they're still looking into that because there's some reports that he may have received some level of treatment. Lots of details still to come. New South Wales Health is not revealing a lot as they do the investigation, and to not impact the privacy of the man involved and his family. But yeah, they're still looking into that. But there is proven treatment that can work, and vaccines that have high success rates as long as they get in there early. So the vaccine obviously needs to be beforehand if you can, but immediately after if not, and the treatment as well needs to be as soon as possible.
The main thing is just not to touch bats, right?
And that's
Don't be
the main
touching
thing.
bats.
So the main takeaway from this is if you do come into contact with one, do the washing, go to wash out the wound, go to a medical centre near you and get treated for it. If you find a bat or you're anywhere near a bat, you need to move a bat, find an ill bat, don't touch it. Call a wildlife carer who has the Lyssavirus vaccine. It's like a $500 vaccine, and they have to get like 3 things and boosters. It's crazy. Let them do it, and they know how to handle it, and stay away. As long as you don't interact with bats directly, they're fine to be around you. The feces and urine, you can't get it from that. It's just from the saliva.
Oh, great, because I thought I got pooped on by a bat like a month ago, and I've been really nervous about it.
Stay safe around bats, and should be all right. That's what I got for you, Max.
Sage advice from Gabe there. That was from last year, 9th of July. You tuned into 4ZZZ. Sorry to keep talking over you.
No, that's okay. I was just saying I need to cancel my bat kissing plans now that I know that.
You tuned into 4ZZZ, and the show is No Idea with me, Max. What is he? No Idea Space News. Very low Earth orbit, Issy, is the new space where you'll find satellites.
Wait, what?
A very low Earth orbit.
Very low Earth orbit, okay.
Yeah, instead of low Earth orbit.
Tell me more about VLOW.
We're talking about altitudes in the range of 80 kilometres to 400 kilometres. And I spoke last week about NASA trialling that latest DISSAT and how Pizza Hut missed a great opportunity for advertising. And they elegantly designed to maintain an orbit in very low Earth orbit. Now, private companies are also designing propulsion systems for this very scenario. Sleek satellites that use atmospheric breathing electric propulsion to maintain both speed and altitude, counteracting Earth's atmospheric drag.
Oh, okay.
So they're trying to gulp up a bit of oxygen as they go around, but it's very sparse up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see. SpaceX, it is in the process, and this is interesting too, they're actually lowering some of they've got a constellation of about 9,500 satellites up there at the moment in low Earth orbit. Well, now they're going to drop them down. About 4,500 SpaceX satellites will lower their orbit this year from 550 kilometres up to 480. And it is hoped, and it's counterintuitive, but the lower orbit will mitigate constellation collision risk, citing the likelihood of collision with space debris significantly drops in orbits less than 500 kilometres of altitude.
Oh, cool. I didn't realise that there would be collisions in space of satellite. So it's satellites and space debris, is it? It's not satellite v satellite.
Mainly the second stages from all the rockets.
Yes.
Because even SpaceX can't bring their second stage back properly.
Oh, really?
Well, they sort of can. They sort of can. But yeah, anyway, that's why they're doing the whole, And talking about space junk, it would seem that one of the safest forms of transport, I'm talking plane travel, may need to start looking up.
Oh, no.
Apparently, there is now a 26% chance that space debris will fall through some of the world's busiest airspace during an uncontrolled re-entry. The odds of that debris actually striking aircraft are small but measurable. So let's just say there's about 100,000 flights on any given day.
Okay, yep.
According to 2020 research from the University of British Columbia, it has been predicted that by 2030, the chances of a commercial flight being hit by a piece of falling space debris will be 1 in 1,000. So 1 in 1,000 of 100,000 flights per day. Yeah.
I'm not very good at maths, but that doesn't seem good. Do you remember?
I'm thinking, you go.
Yeah, do you remember last year when a certain orange idiot came into office and suddenly America was just having this like streak of bad airline mishaps, and just like the fear that also has gone through people's mind when they're on a plane and like the door's gonna fall off, or it gets struck by something. Like, I can't believe this.
Well, I'm hoping that my travel insurance will be stepped up a bit.
So
I'm ticking the box space debris.
2026, check the fine print. If it doesn't include space debris, do not pay for it because it's more likely than you think.
That's right, by 2030. So.
Oh my God, Max. I thought 2026 when I was younger, 10 years ago in 2016, I'd be like, we'd have flying cars. Instead, we have falling space debris.
Great. To contend with.
Yes.
I thought we'd have autonomous cars by now. Well, you sort of do, but they're a bit geo-fenced.
Yeah, they're causing problems. So what have we got, Max?
Nothing good. No upside here. You're tuning into 4ZZZ, and the show is No Idea, but not for much longer. Issy, sign us out. Just joking.
No. I thought he was going to be like, Max, sign us out.
Right.
Subscribe at 4ZZZ.org.au/support, and we'll see you next week, hopefully, if we don't get taken off the air.
That's it. And thanks for texting in, Jim. They said there's no emoji for laziness.
Also, special thanks to our sub who subscribed, but we didn't get any name or suburb. So wherever you are, mystery sub, thank you for your support.
And we'll speak to you next week.
See ya.
I'm a goddamn marvel of modern science.